Okay. There we go. We've got color, we've got sound, we've got a viewer or two, maybe, possibly, who knows? Ayame will be joined shortly. Hey, welcome everyone. Karmic Transmission number 32 coming at you tonight. 32. Um, Doing this bi-weekly for those of you that this is your first time coming around. We do this every 2 weeks on Mondays, coming in talking about karma and a little bit of anything and everything that comes up. We try to have a guest on and some lively, engaging conversation for anyone that's able to join us. So we look forward to having you around and just enjoying an hour of talking with each other. So how's it going there, my friend?
Sounds a little bit too Mr. Rogers for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, Heidi ho, neighbor.
Okay, that would be Wilson, but I guess we're in the ballpark.
I'll get closer. I just got to dig further into my repertoire. So what's up with the camera? You rub Vaseline on the lens or something? What's going on here?
In this particular instance, I'm still not feeling very well, so I'm not getting on camera.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. You're on the mend.
Yeah.
As some would say.
Well, I would say that. I didn't say that, but I could have said it.
Oh, well, it's okay. Rexy, I appreciate the hell out of you, brother. I know you're down there in Vegas. Even if you got to jump in and out, go get dinner, enjoy some time, do a little gambling, man, for both of us.
What's he doing in Vegas? Why are we not in Vegas?
So I was going to get into that. First off, we do have to get the whole joining us. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that jive turkey. You can find us karmaincarnate.com, though, is the best place to check us out online, see what we're about, what we're trying to do, and follow along with how we're trying to end hunger the good old-fashioned karma way. So,
and you know what? I'm gonna just come out and say it. Take the challenge for yourself. Do it.
There you go. Couldn't have said it better myself. So, but no. So what's going on, Ayame? And this is where it's kind of funny. It's, if anything, it's just going to be a couple of old friends hanging out tonight because Rexy, he had to go down to Vegas to deliver cranes. So he's out. I'm sure we've got videos about Rexy doing cranes all the time. He's a crane moving man these days.
It's actually funny that you say that because I've been going through some of the DDKs, and there are an awful lot of DDKs about Rex moving cranes around.
Right? It's kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah. So if anybody wants that footage, you have a wealth to choose from if you check out the DDKs.
In one of them, he even sees a UFO. Ooh. So, yeah, kind of
UFOs
crazy.
out there making ghost noises now, huh?
I don't have a harmonica with wax paper on it to make the humming noises.
Okay, well, I mean, I know you have a theremin. I gave you one for your birthday a couple years ago.
You did?
He's looking. Yeah, your theremin.
You did not. You're making shit up.
No shit.
Yeah. Oh, geez. You're lucky that you're lucky I don't come punch you in your gallbladder because you don't have it no more.
Do you think I'd prefer it if you would punch me in my gallbladder because it's in some jar somewhere? Go for it. We'll see it. We'll test that remote pain theory that some people talk about. It's not quite a twin, but it's close.
Close. Very close.
Do you seriously though, if I had the money to buy a theremin, do you really think that I would give that to you instead of just keeping it here at my house?
No, you would actually learn to play that instrument. That would not be like your accordion. That would be something you actually learned.
To be fair, I didn't buy the accordion to learn the accordion.
Oh, I know you didn't. That's why I say the theremin would be a totally different animal.
I'm unpopular enough. I don't need to learn to play the accordion.
Oh, everybody needs to learn to play the accordion. I'd learn it if I could.
Do you know how to play the piano?
Rexy boy knows how to play the piano. He tickles them ivories.
Okay, you know what? Rex doesn't know how to play the piano. Just because he's been taking piano lessons for the last 36 years does not mean he knows how to play the piano. And
Hey,
I know that for a fact.
I've heard him with this here ear, maybe not this one, but with
Just the
this one,
one.
I've heard him play the Cheers theme song in part. So he can play said piano.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. So you know the banjo player at the beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Okay, I can play the first 6 chords of that. Does that mean I can play the banjo?
Well, sure.
Oh, well, okay. Well,
Why
never
not?
mind, Rex. I apologize then. I didn't know I
You
was a
know,
proficient banjo player.
I still claim that I can play the saxophone, even though I haven't touched it in about 15 years.
Oh, but no, but you know what though? Seriously, you were good at the saxophone. It was funny because obviously at the time, Bill Clinton was president, and he was always portrayed with his saxophone. And I swear, like I would have loved to come in your house one day and to see you just jamming on the saxophone with your sunglasses on.
You know what's horrible is literally we grew up in that time. It never clicked until now that you say Bill Clinton played the saxophone and I was playing this. Like it literally never clicked until
Are you
right now.
serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
That episode of The Simpsons where he comes in and plays the saxophone at the end,
Yeah.
and it never clicked with you.
I never made the connection to me playing the saxophone with it. Like that's the part, seeing it on The Simpsons and knowing that Bill Clinton played the saxophone, that was all there. Never once did I want to play, and talking to everybody, never once did I want to play the saxophone because it's what Bill Clinton did. It's
Well,
because
you were
band was
playing
an awesome class and the saxophone's a cool instrument. So
you were playing the saxophone way before that, weren't you?
No,
Like-
it wasn't until 6th grade is when they started letting people do early morning band class. So what were we, maybe 11?
Something like that.
So it would have been like 1996, 95, right in there.
Jake Vanderlinden, the only human being who ever went out of his way to find a reason to go to school earlier.
No, hey, that's how I met Andy, one of our greatest and oldest friends, the package.
Oh, that's right. What did he play?
He played the saxophone. See, he played the alto sax, which is what Bill Clinton played. I was cooler.
I cannot.
Played the tenor.
I can't for the life of me picturing Andy playing the saxophone.
Yeah.
Like I knew him then, and I still there's like.
Well, no,
I'm just trying to imagine it.
It's funny because he didn't play in the band through junior high and stuff like that. He didn't take band. He played it early morning through elementary school, and that's where he and I met. And then it was in junior high when we all went to the same school that I introduced the three. We kind of turned into a little crowd or crew or whatever you want to call it.
The OG crew.
The OG toughs at Riverview Junior High.
Yeah. Definitely walking around with our our Fonzie jackets on and snapping as we go down the hallway.
Yeah, I wanted to steal Rex's member only jacket, but it didn't fit. So.
Oh geez. Yeah, I don't know that for some reason, like I'm trying to picture him playing a saxophone, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It's crazy because every once in a while those old pictures come out around here for various reasons, and I've got that picture of you and Andy sitting in the backyard at my house where the tree house burned down, holding cats, like because we had 4 or 5 cats over there, and I've got a picture of you guys when like the first time that we ever hung out, and it blew my mind when I saw it. I need to set it aside if I haven't yet.
Speaking of cats,
one of the drawers. Yeah, I had like 4 or 5 cats that. Do you even remember our old house where the treehouse burnt down?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we had that patio that came off the backyard with the hot tub on the side, and it was kind of a fenced-in lawn area. Hey, you get down from up there, you dink. But that's where all the cats and dogs would stay and play at and stuff like that. And it's a picture of you guys sitting on that patio, petting a couple of the cats that I have.
Well, I certainly hope for any other Vanderlindens who may be listening in on this podcast that he has not taken that picture and inserted it here in the video,
We're
because
gonna have to.
I
We're gonna have to
definitely
find that picture because
I definitely don't need people to see pictures of young me.
What? You don't like young all of us's?
You know what? I'm not a fan of photographic evidence that I exist or existed. I like to be. I'm kind of a ghost, you know.
There's way too much karma stuff for you to exist as a ghost.
That's true.
You have already forfeited that.
Well, we don't need to make the problem any worse. No, God, that's so weird though. Yeah, I had no idea that he played the saxophone.
Yeah.
You know what though? Seriously, like if Rex ever does learn to play the piano, like the two of you could jam out pretty hard, pretty seriously, I guess. You know, he could be doing his single finger twinkle twinkle little star, and you could be you know, rocking out on some serious jam session. I don't you know what I'm talking about.
Well, this is the other one. So Clint, the mysterious third, ever does play piano.
Yeah, that's what I said, Rex.
That's exactly what was said. The rare and elusive third missing brother Clint. So he had some friends from the scary treehouse come in town because one of his buddies, Ben Martin, lives in Vietnam and like teaches over there. So he's in town for the weekend. So that's why Clint couldn't make the transmission tonight. But those are all guys who, you know, kind of coming back around talking about things. Their band equipment was in the treehouse when it burned down, you know. So it's
that I do remember. Yeah,
it's kind of crazy how everyone's kind of touching base with people, kind of like, you know, just bringing up Andy. We've all been around so many people and done so many interesting things, from fires to trips to Japan to, you know, literally just meeting new people through learning instruments. It's pretty incredible that we've been able to maintain that contact to build something like Karma. You know, I mean, Colby, you know, he's been with us forever. Him and Rex played Little League. You know, those guys went out and swung the old pine together back in the day, and it's pretty rare that you get the ability to do such an incredible thing with the people that you love dearest and have spent the most time with. You know, so it's kind of cool that we've been able to have that much time together.
It's, you know what, it's kind of a shame that if that ever happens again, we'll have to have the Scary Treehouse unofficial reunion band on the podcast, because
Dude, that would be fun. That would be really fun. If I'd have known a little bit sooner, I might have tried to coordinate something to see about getting Ben and those guys on, because it's Ben's last night here, and then he's leaving, so they're getting like a bunch of the Scary Treehouse guys together. I don't think they're going to be brave enough to want to pull out the old Psycho Senior stuff, but you know, they might get pretty close.
You know what though? I mean, it'd be great to, you know, next time they're all around, we'll have them play a little song. We'll have like that, like on a late night TV show where they don't have somebody to fill in for the last little while, so they have a band come in and play.
It's not a bad idea. They don't, those guys. So oddly enough, after I burned down all of their instruments, none of them played instruments after that.
I mean, that's a pretty serious omen,
right?
I would say. Like,
well, the one guy, so there were a couple of Bens. The guy in town from Vietnam was a guy named Ben Martin. There was a guy named Ben Schlinsky, and he was the drummer. We used to call him Poundy. He's the one that taught Rex how to play the drums back in the day when Rex was, you know, yay big.
Yeah.
If I stood up, there'd be perspective. But yeah, when Rex was really, really little, you want to know. So here's going to be a good one. You want to hear one of Rex's very first nicknames?
Absolutely, I do.
When he first started playing the drums, the guys at the treehouse started calling him the Bat Slayer. That was one of his first nicknames back when he was like 5, learning how to play the drums, or 4.
The Bat Slayer.
Yeah, he was the Bat Slayer because it came about because he Mortal Kombat, the Mortal Kombat movie had come out, and I had bought the Mortal Kombat soundtrack, and they got me and Rex to put on these rubber masks. Rex put on a Batman mask, and I put on a Chucky mask, and they played Mortal Kombat, and we danced around like just idiots. This is really the only way to put it for a couple of, 3 and 6-year-old kids or something like that. And yeah, Rex played with a bow staff and stuff, and then they named him the Bat Slayer after that. So
now here's my question: is there a photograph of that?
maybe
Because that I would like to see.
Oh, trust me, I know that we've got some old pictures. I don't know. I don't think we had a camera for any of that stuff, because that was just like goofing around in the house one afternoon when my mom had told Clint that he had to babysit us and he had friends coming over. So that's how they babysat.
See, isn't it a shame all the things that we missed out on by not having cameras permanently attached to us at all times throughout our childhoods?
No kidding. It's kind of crazy, because that show, The Goldbergs, literally there's things in that where it's our childhood, and yes, it's his home videos, but it's like you can remember that exact sequence happening in your home.
Oh yeah, totally.
So because it is kind of funny, because you're absolutely right. And we did have a camera to catch some of the old stuff that Rex and I would do out at competitions and stuff like that, but nobody ever used it. So we have some old video footage somewhere that I'll have to dig up one day and get converted.
Well, but back then, because we had a camera too. I mean, my dad was a pretty serious video guy, so to speak. But we had tons of cameras of different formats. But the problem is back then, if you wanted to catch something like that, it was a trial to set it up. You had to find a tape. You had to grab out one of the batteries from the charger, if they were even on the charger. And they're, the battery's as big as a phone is now.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time you got everything together and pulled the camera out and got it slung up on your shoulder, I mean, it was,
you missed it.
It was 2 days later. So
yeah, because that's the absolute truth. And that's where, unless you were one of those people that just always had it attached, it was hard to catch a lot of that stuff, So
Polaroid
that's why we got this.
Yeah,
we got this thing full of it all. So
well,
yeah. But the old Bat Slayer, Rexy,
the Bat Slayer.
Bat Slayer. That's one that's gonna have to come back now. So
well, I can start calling him Bat Slayer. That's fine. Rex has got no shortage of embarrassing nicknames. That one's actually pretty cool. So
yeah. Well, what's crazy is, I have the devil mask. That's the one that I have. Hang on.
Oh,
hang on.
We're gonna get a treat here. See, this is what happens when Clint's not around and we don't have a guest, is we just get gold like this.
Nope, I don't. That's right. The cat's got a hold of it and tore it to pieces.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Go put that cat outside. The cat's dead to me.
Because that was one. They had a couple of different ones, but they had a Chucky mask, and it was funny. Good times.
Oh,
but that's these grand adventures of just us doing odd things. It's been our whole life, and it's it's that flexibility that we've always wanted to have, to see in others. To have everybody else have a little bit of that ability to go out there and do that kind of stuff with us, because life's an experience, and if you're not out experiencing it, then what's it all about, right? So
no, you're absolutely right about that. As a matter of fact, I was having a discussion very much to that effect just yesterday.
Yeah.
No,
like your dad or something?
No, I went out and saw Mina. We hung out a little bit.
Nice.
It was interesting. I mean, we were talking about quite a bit of stuff, but a lot of it was focusing on, she's doing a little bit of streaming now. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about, some of the streaming I'd done for Gaming Good Karma briefly, and, if we're going to be doing that again. And, sorry,
Oh, you're good.
Oh, no, sorry. I saw the thing in the chat there. It threw me off. Because I thought that was thought you were asking how I was doing.
Oh.
But no, just talking about that kind of stuff, getting out there and living life, doing things not necessarily because you need them to be like, you don't need everything that you do to be productive. You don't need everything that you do to be not, I don't want to say meaningful, but like profitable, let's say.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, on that note, another discussion I was having with a friend of mine recently, she was talking about getting a hula hoop because I guess she saw one at the store and she tried it and she was like, "Oh, I used to do this all the time. I loved it." And she's like, I talked myself out of buying it, but then I went home and I decided I really want it. So, I'm going to go home and I'm going to turn it into this whole workout routine. And I'm like, it's a $2 hula hoop. Why don't you just buy it because it makes you smile and it's fun? It's like, why try to turn something that you love or everything that you love into something that has to be a chore and has to be for a quote unquote reason, And so that's what we were talking about, Lauren or Mina and I, is just doing these things not because you want to be the next PewDiePie, but just because it's fun and you want to connect with people, want to talk with people, and that branches into getting out more and experiencing more things, taking advantage of the time you got, that kind of thing.
It's true, Will, and it goes to show the bigger one is people and their motivations is one that I look at in that one, because it's funny how, like you said, it's a $2 hula hoop. Why not just go get it to have a little bit of fun, right? Now, every person has slightly different motivations, and that's one thing where if their encouragement is they want a hula hoop because they're going to want to lose weight or something, cool. If it gets you to buy the hula hoop and you start doing something, great. That's because the motivation is really whether or not they're going to continue doing it, because if they can keep up the motivation, that's going to be the key. And it's funny because that to me is the same thing like karma, because it's the difference between someone like your mom that goes, well, I'm just going to do karma because it's an amazing thing to do, or somebody like I'm trying to think of a great example. It would be any of us in the karma crew in a lot of ways, or an Eric, or some of our agents that are always wanting to do a little bit more, and their motivation is that they want to grow something or spread an idea more. And so those motivations are unique, and it's trying to keep those things kindled, because once people lose the motivation, it doesn't matter what they got or how much they spend on it or if they like it or not. A lot of people just kind of stop doing it.
I agree. But what I'm talking about not turning out like, it would be the difference for doing karma just because it's a good thing to do, versus like you look at it and go, I'm gonna do this as a business. I'm gonna hit it hard. I'm gonna I'm gonna be a millionaire in 10 months. And it's like, that's what I'm talking about, is that idea where it's like, it's okay to do something
because you want to do it.
Yeah, as an adult, like we tend, I think, to try and find like a really deep meaning in everything, or like go, God, I've got these bills to pay, and I've got this to do and this to do. So what am I thinking about? Buying something purely because it makes me happy, or doing something just because it makes me happy. There's a really specific way that I'd like to say it, but I can't, because I can't remember exactly how the quote goes.
I was gonna say, is it because you're worried, or you can't remember?
No, I can't remember exactly how it goes. It's the engagement of time in a pointless and frivolous way, I think, is how it goes. When they're talking about having fun. And that's what I'm talking about. It's not everything that you do has to necessarily work towards a purpose or a goal. Sometimes I think you need to be able to just have fun, and that's what I'm talking about. And it's not necessarily just by buying stuff. Obviously, buying stuff, in my opinion, is not really the way to happiness, even though I waste a lot of money doing just that. But but you know, that kind of thing where it's like, yeah, just, you know, go out and live life. And it's like, you know what, you don't need to justify buying a candy bar or eating some ice cream, or, you know,
Well,
just
that's the big one
doing
is,
something silly.
you know, the justification side of it is where it's, you know, who do you really need to justify to, right? Or you know what, it's when it comes down to it, if I buy a candy bar, whose business is it but my own, right? Now
Well,
you might say if you got
exactly,
a girlfriend or
exactly.
something like that, they might have some input, but in the end, it's like, man, that's entirely on me. But I get what you're saying, because it is weird. A lot of people, you know, because we've had in a way, there's that trade-off in karma that we run into with some people where they're like, well, I get a write-off, I get an X, I get a thing, and it's like, well, maybe, kind of, if you want to, but it's not really what we do. You know what I mean? Our whole focus is really more on ending hunger, right? And there's that can be I maybe I'm losing it here, and my brain's just going a million miles a minute. It's been kind of a crazy day. Um,
Well, no, I think you're right in that, because, you know, we've talked to a lot of people before who, you know, they don't want to do it over doing a charity, because doing it as a charity gets them a tax write-off. And it's like,
yeah, yeah.
if that's your motivation, that's fine.
Mm.
But, you know,
But
in the
let's be
case of
honest about the
karma, at
motivation,
least, well,
right?
you're maybe
You
you're
know,
missing the forest for the trees a little bit,
mm.
if that's what you're talking about. Then again, part of the reason that we do karma and not charity is because, you know, charity in and of itself is not necessarily always as honest.
Mm. Yeah,
um you know, and let me be very clear here, I don't have a problem with people giving to charity just
no,
because they get a tax write-off. That's fine. And I don't, you know, and I'm not out here saying if you do it, that if that's why you do it, you know, you should be
mm.
ashamed of that, because you
No,
shouldn't. You're still doing something good. But, you know, I think as long as you're honest about that. But
yeah,
with a charity itself, you know, you don't always get that level of honesty either, where it's
yeah.
like, the March of, you know, I hate to say it by name, but March of Dimes is always the one that drives me the most crazy, because it's like, it's such a it's such a cute concept on a very small scale. But, you know, when you really think about 10 cents out of a dollar,
Mm.
you know, that's I don't know, that's scary to me in a way.
Yeah, it's really kind of weird how some of these things move, and that's where the in the end, that's where, like I said, you know, I celebrate the action, you know, just like the girl getting the hula hoop, regardless of to whatever motivation it was, her actually taking the step to get the hula hoop and start doing something is the part that should be celebrated. You know, that's,
Absolutely.
you know, and it goes the same thing even with people if they've got those charities that they love to give to. You know, Locks of Love is one that I know a lot of people have done over the years, and a lot of people that we know especially have done it over the years. And it's one where it's like, you know, just do it, because I encourage the action of giving and helping, because it always encourages you to want to do more. Now, the next step that I would say after that is, if you want to truly make the best impact you can, be smart about where you're giving. That would be the next thing to couple with it.
Right.
So, and just like Rex said, you know, every action has a reaction. If you give, you're going to get something back. And usually it's a feeling, you know, but feelings are kind of different, especially once you start learning what happens. If anybody's hasn't watched it, or if anybody's been curious, I definitely recommend The Good Place, just because it's got this really weird system in it that it describes. And it's one that it goes to show you, you know, no matter what action you're taking, there's always a repercussion. There's always that ripple effect. So be conscious and considerate of as much as you can of what you're doing, and it makes it so that it's a little bit easier on everyone, you know. But it has to start with just, are you willing to give? Are you willing to do something? And that's the part that, hey, once you take that step, I'm going to hoorah you. Let's do this thing, because that's what we need. We need encouragement at that point, you know?
Well, and that's why I like, you know, like you said, you encourage the action. It's like
Yeah.
the the reasoning behind it, I do think has some relevance depending on what you're doing. But,
Mhm.
you know, like I was saying before, taking an action, it whether you're doing it for a purpose or not doing it for a purpose, if you take the action, that should be lauded.
Yep.
We talk a lot about it. I don't know about on here necessarily, but I know that we've talked about a lot before, is this paralysis of analysis, and getting stuck in that loop where you get stuck in that inaction. So yeah, absolutely. Just doing something is almost always the right way to go.
Yeah. And it's, the proof is in the pudding, in everything from our health to our financial freedoms to, just how we interact with people. It's about action. Take, for instance, your situation, Ayame. I know you're not feeling good, but if you didn't get those things taken care of, you'd be much worse off, right?
Well, I sincerely hope so. At the moment, it's hard to say because,
yeah.
It's like
moment.
when you're right out of it, it's you're always you're lying there thinking, God, all I needed to do was just never eat French fries again for the rest of my life. I could have probably done that, right?
No.
But then, thank you.
No.
Thank you very much for that vote of confidence. But then,
I'm talking about me. I'm saying me. No. Well, I'm not even gonna kid myself and try to pretend like I could. No.
I couldn't have done it either.
See,
there's
that honesty.
You look at it, 2 months from now, and it will be like, yeah, thank goodness I got it done. It's over. It's behind me. I don't have to worry about it anymore.
When we're at Halloween Horror Nights, you'll be loving it. Exactly.
Yeah, especially now that I drink.
See? Telling ya. Not to mention, the brisket at my house won't give you problems, or any of the cooked foods.
Very true. It's very true. Did you see, on that note, that they did their reveal for Halloween Horror Nights the other day?
We did, and I'm not going to spoil it. I know that Rexy can't really tell us about it, but I'll let him tell the crew about the whole Halloween horror mayhem trip. So, because that's his reveal. I don't get to spoil anything for him. He deserves to have something fun.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it's fun, because I'm I don't know. I'm still expecting the worst, personally. I hate to say it, but
what are you expecting?
You know what? Day to day, right now, I am still expecting. I'm still expecting to hear that they're closing again. I'm still expecting to hear that the price of admissions gone up like 800%. I mean, I know Universal isn't as greedy as Disney is, but
we've already, we looked at prices. We already kind of did some of the stuff. The pricing, Disney's the one that those guys, I don't know. I guess when you're a company that has more money than God, you can kind of tell people that you don't want their money anymore. I guess that's how it works.
You know what the thing is it's more specifically, I believe, telling people that some people's money isn't as good as other people's money because they're not willing to part with as much of it.
It's just weird. But yeah, so anyway, long and short of it is, we did get on and looked at everything and started running some pricing, but we're still too early to book dates and get anything planned, so we couldn't buy anything yet. So but yes,
I wonder,
we've been looking, we've been planning, we've been organizing.
I just was excited to see that they were talking about it. I mean, as little as I am excited about the prospect of oncoming winter, and I got to tell you, like, this, I've been savoring this summer so much, even though it's incredibly hot outside, even though we're already buried under smoke and all that. I just being able to go outside and not be cold, and it's still really, it's still pretty green. It's like, that makes me really happy. And as long as we can have that, it's the one thing about October that always gets me down, is I know as soon as the trip's over, it's like, okay, settle in for the slog because winter is a
Oh,
coming.
look at how mild last winter was. There was nothing last winter. So I don't know what you're worried about.
Well, I don't like it's. Here's the thing: I like snow unless I have to drive up the canyon in it.
Hmm.
Getting stuck in traffic for 3 hours to make what
Oh,
should be a 30-minute trip is not my idea of a good time.
no,
But
trust me, I totally get it. But did you do that once last year?
yes, but once is more than enough.
Oh, okay.
Once is more than enough. But here's the thing: I like snow.
Oh,
Like
me
just
too.
because I don't do like snowboarding or skiing, snow is great. What I don't like is being cold.
Oh.
And one of these days I'm just gonna have to move back out of here. I'm gonna have to have myself a winter home somewhere else.
Oh, you're gonna snowbird it?
Oh, maybe if I can, yeah.
Well, we
I'll start living in Vegas in the winter.
Oh, I was gonna say you can find property in Florida next to the place that we're gonna put up for our mom and stuff. So.
Oh wait, were you supposed to say that? She's probably.
I don't know.
I know she's not watching, but we'll edit it out.
We can do whatever. No, it's funny because we have talked about some of that kind of stuff too, because it's a good time to start looking into doing more, and that's what's interesting is just looking at and exploring opportunities can give you ideas of directions in which you want to move and do things, because it's really neat. Just talking about the Florida thing, we've gone down and worked with food banks and locations down there in Florida doing karma in the past. So we actually have areas where.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I'm hearing
Ghosts.
pounding upstairs.
Well, go take a look. I'll entertain people.
Hang on.
Now it's time for the Brack Show. No, anyway, getting back on track here. Let's take a look at the chat and see if anybody in the chat has anything to say. Let's see. We've got Alyssa and Colby in the chat today. Hello, Alyssa and Colby. Nice to see you. Nice to see you both as usual. And we've got Rex in the chat. Obviously, I'm guessing you guys probably picked up on that already. And he says, finally, we got rid of that guy. God, right? God, he's just like, he's so busy. He's like manipulating the conversation. Oh, hey, there he is. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
don't
buddy.
worry. This guy he's
How's it
like
going?
a bad penny, always turning up.
So what was it? Was your DoorDash there?
No, it was my mom coming home.
Oh.
Today's my mom's birthday, by the way. I didn't get a chance to throw that on there because she
Happy
was
birthday, Karma Mom.
Yeah, our mom Dina, she had a birthday, so she was out getting a few things because one of the cats had an issue with some teeth, and so she's trying to get some soft foods and stuff like that for her to eat. So, but she had a problem with a doorknob or something sticking and was like hitting things kind of hard. So, just. But I'm sure I know Rex was ready to get rid of me, but I'm back, Rex.
I mean, you can't really get rid of the host of the show.
That's why you have co-hosts. You have wonderful people here with me. So
a singular co-host.
Well, usually it happens. So, what? Huh? I had too many things hit all of a sudden in my brain. Like, anyway, what were we talking about? Yes, indeed.
Well, we had been talking about how we've delivered food in Florida.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So with the whole thing down there in Florida, yeah, we've delivered to a food bank. We've done things down in that area, so we already know places where, if we did go down and and find ourselves down there again, because how karma's always worked right now is just us. Kitten, maybe. I'm glad. I don't think I said kitten. Sorry, we're getting some chats here, guys, and trying to keep up with everything. But Florida, that's where we were.
Yeah, we've done
Right.
some deliveries in Florida. We do. The way it works is that, you know, any place that we have agents that want to do,
Well,
you know,
actually,
karma deliveries
let
and
me
stuff. I mean,
actually deliveries work around a very specific person, and it's a person that's in the chat but not really here, because what's unique with karma is how we do what we do is we go and buy the food ourselves and deliver it. Right now we don't have a delivery company or a shipper or anything like that, so that we can put as much money into buying food as possible, right? um, and because of that, it's always happened that wherever Rex is at the time that karma needs to happen, that's where karma happens. That's why we did it down in Vegas. Sure, we might have planned them and coordinated them a little bit, but the idea was that, you know, wherever we are is where karma has to happen right now. Down the road, after we get more agents, it'll be in all of the cities and areas that we have agents that these things will be happening. But for now, you know, it's wherever we're at. So, you know, when we did it in Florida, and that's where I was going to say, if you go back and check out, we've got, I think it's in a family food gift video that we've got where we did the live stream and did half the food in Florida and half the food here. You remember that one, Ayame?
oh yeah,
Yeah, I think you guys did it over at Clint's house, right?
yes, that was we had our setup over at Clint's, and you guys had your setup over at what's his name?
Harold's, down at Harold's
Harold,
house.
that's right. Yeah.
There's a guy that I need to talk to and coordinate with to get on this. He'd be a cool one to have on the podcast too. But yeah, I remember we split the food, and was it you and Colby did the delivery here, and while Rex and I were doing it down there in Florida? Is that how we
I
coordinated
believe
it?
so. Yes.
Yeah, but that was really cool because that one especially goes to show you that it is very much that karma is going to happen wherever we can have agents and wherever we are. But you know, as it sits right now, it's kind of wherever we are at the moment, just because we're always the ones, you know, kind of working and doing and making it all happen. Just until there's more agents and more people involved, that we have to start spreading it around a little bit more, right? Because as it sits, you know, we're taking enough food to make a hefty donation to one food bank. But I can't wait for that day when we've got people going, oh, hey, we're full, and we're taking it to 2, 3, 4, 5 other food banks because they're all needing help as well. But we've got at least one taken care of, you know?
Oh yeah, of course. And all I was gonna say is, you know, it usually starts in a place where we already have agents, because that's
Mhm.
where we
Can do the
happen
work.
to be in a lot of those places a lot of the time. So
Mhm. Yeah, like your mom's down in Vegas, which we will do that one. We'll plan that one again, but we'll have to make sure they're there this time.
I mean, it definitely helps to have
Mhm.
you know, have your agents around for that kind of thing.
Yeah, makes, especially if you're going to use like their house and their things to do the stickering and everything else. It's kind of a, if nothing else, it's polite, right,
Yeah.
to
Well,
have them there with you.
and you know, we looked at booking out the ballroom at the hotel we were at, but you know, it was just, we didn't think it was the best use of karma money. So
You know, I've never been one for going to those what are they called? The airport Marriotts where they do like the conferences and stuff like that. Those have always seemed a little bit odd to me, kind
it's
of
a shame,
gimmicky.
because you'd look really, really good in like a really sad brown like tweed jacket, I think. We'd
Oh
start calling you Norman.
yeah. And need leather patches, right?
Oh no, you can't afford leather patches.
Oh
If
come
you're
on, Norm had leather patches.
Norman did not have leather patches. Norm had leather patches, but Norman did not. Do you think that the guy behind him in line with the
Oh,
squirrel
oh.
would have even looked twice at him if he had leather patches on his elbows? No.
Okay, hang on, Norman. Where are you coming from, Norman? I was thinking of Cheers.
I know you were thinking of Cheers.
Yeah, I was thinking of Norm Peterson from Cheers. I don't know where you were going with Norman, so you're gonna have to
For those
take
of
me through
you
that
who are
side.
not familiar, I strongly recommend you check out the website www.rifftracks.com and check out their excellent selection of short films which they have riffed. One of which is called "Welcome Back, Norman," which is one of my personal favorites. They also have the one I'm referring to in this instance, Norman Checks in which the titular character Norman checks into a sleazy motel for a conference while he is out of town and is accosted by a man with a taxidermy squirrel on his shoulder.
I see. See, that would be why I've apparently missed that one. I've seen the other one. I didn't see that one.
Oh man, Norman Checks In is a seminal classic, certainly.
Gotcha. Well, when are they doing Riff Tracks Live, by the way? I mean, we gotta know so that we can go.
They're doing one in August, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, the first one since COVID hit. I believe the movie is Hobgoblins.
Okay.
I would have to double check that though, because that, I don't remember. I think they already did that one. Anyway, it is going to be in August, and I strongly recommend people go. We're going to be there, so if you do happen to, if you want to hook up with the Karma crew at some point, we're going to be there. So
yeah, we definitely need to get it booked up. You got to get me the dates so that we can maybe throw it out for people to see. So, be a lot of fun. Excuse me. Sorry, working things through there. It's kind of cool though. The sheer fact that we can that Norman thing blew me away. I don't know why I got that so confused. Ayame, that kills me because
real quick, it's August 17th.
Okay.
The movie is Hobgoblins, which fans of Riff Tracks will know was already done once on Mystery Science Theater 3000. And if you can make it there live, Belcourt Theater in Nashville.
We're not going to be in Nashville though.
Ow. Ow, 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 ow.
That sounded painful.
That was real painful. I think my stitches just blew.
Oh, they did not.
They feel like they did. Anyway, yes. August 17th.
August 17th. If you're in Salt Lake, let us know. We can tell you what theater we're going to. So, or are you going live?
Huh?
Ayame?
What?
Are you going to Nashville? I said, are you going live?
I wouldn't go to Nashville for any reason that I can think of.
Why not?
Because what the hell is in Nashville? Okra?
No, there's actually quite a bit to see in Nashville. They've got like the Rock and Roll History Museum and stuff. There's, I've been there once or twice. There's lots of bars, big. It's a big music scene. Nashville's got a lot of music and stuff out there.
A lot of country music, right?
No, not just country music. It's just music in general.
Music in general.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've already been to the Liberace Museum. I don't think I need any more.
Colby's been in Nashville a little bit. Hang on. Here's an idea. Let's throw Colby in here. He can tell us about Nashville. Dolly World. And let me do this.
Wait a minute. Dolly World's there?
Yeah, Dolly World's
well, never mind. Okay.
There we go. Colby should be able
our trip right now.
Colby ought to be able to unmute and all that stuff. There we go. Let's see if that works. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you though.
Oh.
So it's okay.
Probably
it's a
for the best. Jesus, I don't know.
Oh, it's looking pretty rough today, huh?
Bad light? No, my icon looks like a circle in a square.
Oh, okay.
It's a podcast. We don't need to be able to see you. We just need to be able to hear you.
Hey, I'm kind of curious.
Okay.
I'm wanting to know what he's seeing.
Let's talk Tennessee, though. No,
Let's talk Tennessee. Didn't you live there for a little bit, buddy?
Yeah, I lived out there for almost 2 years total. There was a couple of months back and forth this way and that way, but like total it was about 2 years. And
Cool.
Sounds like Jake living in Vegas.
that pretty much was kind of that same situation, except Vegas sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sell me on Tennessee here.
Okay, I'm a okay.
Get out the travel brochure.
No, like
What was Alyssa saying? I couldn't hear her.
if you don't like the heat, it's kind of humid, but it's no Florida. Florida's humid as it all gets.
Oh yeah.
You know, so but Tennessee does have a little bit of that humidity, but they still have so much of the old school ways. Honestly, when I first got there, I remember us driving through one of the smaller towns to get to our even smaller town, and they literally still had the gas station attendants. Like they would fill up your car for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was homeboy just waiting for you to roll up to the pump, and he's like, "Oh, premium, what?"
Okay, so
He
point
did
one,
all
I don't
that.
have to pump my own gas.
Yeah, no, and they checked the oil, and then they started checking tire pressures. Like it was crazy. And we're talking this is
like a service station kind of thing.
no, yeah, and it's all for free.
Mhm.
But when did I was probably, well, I know I was underage because I got into a little trouble at some point out there. So I was like 19. So it probably had to be like 2006, 7, 8, somewhere in there.
Mhm.
But
Okay,
isn't that
so-
cool? You have like a full service thing in 2006, 7, or 8? Like that was nothing like up here. We not.
Oh no.
Don't they have those in Oregon too? Like,
Well,
isn't it in Oregon where you can't pump your own gas?
that's what I was gonna say. Is there's like 2 or 3 states, and yeah, Oregon is one of them. I want to say that Washington is the other one, right up there in the Northwest. And yeah, what it is it's state mandated that those jobs, that people have to have those jobs because they're a job. So it's basically, yeah, according to the state, you can't pump your own gas. There has to be an attendant. So
Maybe they're unionized.
a lot of them are actually up there.
That would make more sense. That's why it's
So,
still.
but I don't think Tennessee is the same. I don't think that's one
No,
of
I
them.
don't, because it was only one. Like there was only one gas station I saw that at.
Yeah.
And you can still find random gas stations like that.
Mhm.
There's one on I-15. I just
Is there?
I can't remember.
Here?
Yeah, I can't remember if it's in Beaver or Scipio, and maybe they stopped doing it.
It would have to be Scipio. That would be the only place that would make sense in our town anymore.
Okay, so wait a minute. So you're telling me that I don't even have to go to Tennessee not to pump my own gas? All right, so
No,
I'm taking the point away.
Just move to Scipio.
Yeah, no, you just.
Yeah.
you don't
so-
have to drive
okay.
nearly as far.
how is Tennessee better than Scipio then? Give me that at least.
Whoa! That's a little too
but-
easy. Too easy. You step back, girl. Step back, girl. Get out of here. Just because it's on. Just 'cause
See,
it's on
now the video
speakerphone
needs to be
doesn't mean you
going
can
because I
talk.
have no idea what's happening.
No. I was talking about Tennessee.
Yeah. Tell me about Tennessee.
So we have all these mountains. Like we're used to them. Like I mean, sometimes I don't even realize like how beautiful they are until like there's one moment you're at a red light for too long and you're just like, holy, well, what? Those are gorgeous.
Mhm.
Okay.
So then out in Tennessee, they have just these. They're not mountains.
They're
but
hills.
like these rolling hills. So
Mhm.
there's like a hill, but then there's a taller hill behind it, and so it's like it's just this way different landscape, and it's just green.
You're not going to have temperature problems out there, Ayame. It'll be warmer year round for you.
You know, when you
Normally
said
for the most part.
there's not mountains, but it's like hills, I immediately thought of Phoenix with Camelback. And now they have that one hill that's just in the middle of nothingness.
Yeah. No, this is like those in series. Is how you say
Okay.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really neat. It's literally the
almost
idea of rolling hills
It,
is kind of
and
what
they
it looks
make
like.
canyons almost. They almost have little hill canyons. They're like literally what mountains grow into or whatever. Like
Mm.
they're these little hills, but they still have these caverns and all these things like that, and that are pretty much canyons, you know. And so, but it's a hill version of a canyon. Like it's so weird. You can go down deep into these things, and there's always normally a river flowing somewhere, starting this whole process of deterioration. It's actually they're really cool, but they're normally a lot more vegetated. Like they're just
Yeah,
green.
it's green. It's really green out there.
Yeah, like
I do like green.
So
I'm
yeah, it's just
colorblind,
cool.
so I thought it was
Neat
brown. I
place.
never got out of the car.
Oh, Colby.
Colby, you did. Where all did you go? You went into Nashville, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And where else?
So we Nashville was well, obviously Nashville's Nashville. I started off in Murfreesboro.
Okay.
Well, Murfreesboro's the bigger version. So it's kind of like when you say you're from Murray, but then you type in the zip code and it says Salt Lake City. So we were
Okay.
actually in Woodbury. You type in the zip code, it's going to say Murfreesboro,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like subdivisions and stuff like that. I get it.
Yeah, where it's like the people that live there still call it by the city name, but the zip code's still, you're under this zip code. But yeah, so it was Woodbury, and it was a good, at least maybe an hour and 45 minutes away from Nashville.
Okay.
But that's the craziest part, is that even just to the closest Piggly Wiggly, that's a real thing. You
Mhm.
see these in
Yeah.
movies all the time. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
The Piggly Wiggly. I thought that was a joke.
No, it's a convenience store chain,
I
man.
was laughing the whole time when they were like, "Hey, let's head down to the Piggly Wiggly," and I was just like, "Oh yeah." What the hell is that? Like a hamburger joint? What? I don't know why I have a pig involved, but
Right.
no, there's
That's
stores.
just what people. That's what people called it, man. That's it's some of that good old Southern slang.
No, but it's just really cool because, like, dude, anybody in their front yard sees a car drive by, it's like, hey, nice to see you. It's like they're so
Yeah.
lonely that they see any movement. Oh, hey, thank you.
They're so lonely.
Thanks for coming down
It,
my.
it shouldn't be that they're just
road."
nice, friendly people, right, Colby? It's that they're lonely.
No, they're so lonely. They're just like, oh, hey. Thank
When
you.
we get agents in Tennessee, hopefully they'll come back and laugh at this one with us.
Oh, no. It
On
was
behalf of the people
nothing
of
but love.
Tennessee, we would like to strongly apologize for Colby's depiction.
Oh, we're not apologizing. They know that it's said with love.
They thanks, sugar.
See? Like I said, they're friendly folks.
Sweetheart. They'd always throw in some sort of compliment at the end of every sentence too. You were
Yeah.
either sugar, sweetheart, stud muffin.
Stud muffin.
That
You got that one all the time, didn't you, Colby? That was your favorite.
only from the hot dog lady.
Only from the hot dog lady, huh?
The most
Yeah.
discerning of residents.
Yeah.
No, I actually bought hot dogs from her. But
I would
she-
imagine.
she
if
just
you
had the
talked
best
to her.
dog.
No, I
If you
thought
talked
she
to her
just
and didn't
thought
buy
she just
hot
came
dogs,
up to you on the street and was just like, "Hey, stud muffin," and then walked away with her hot dog cart. Of course.
Nobody would ever do that in real life.
they do to me all the time. I don't know what your guys' deal is. No.
It's a
Come on.
rich little fantasy world that Jake inhabits sometimes.
Well, hey, if somebody's got to have one, it might as well be me, right?
That's
I'm
true.
telling you, I turned back at the girl and I said, you know what? I get heartburn. Peace out. That's what I said.
You,
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
are,
you get heartburn.
you are
Yeah.
I get
killing me.
heartburn. Peace out. It's not worth it,
Literally
babe.
killing me.
Oh man. Well, I see that right there. If there's any reason to go to Tennessee, it's so that you can find this hot dog lady. And what did she call you again, Colby? Stud muffin, was it?
Well, stud muffin was what some called. There's a lot of people that
Okay,
live
so-
in Tennessee. So sweetheart and sugar are kind of like your
Yeah, the go-tos.
Those are your go-tos, of
Yeah.
course.
10
Yeah.
out of 20, 20 out of 30. But the stud muffin,
Yeah.
that's like a 1 out of 30. Yeah. So when they say stud muffin, they mean
They mean it.
they mean
They
So
mean it.
okay, so
and
now I
they
do need to
know
go
their
to
muffins.
Tennessee to track this person down and find out if this story is even remotely true.
Oh, I believe it.
Remotely?
I know it. Colby,
It is-
there's no reason. Come on, stud muffin, who would make that up?
I will if I
Good-
could
good
if I
point.
could find my journal, I could show you my exact journal entry from that evening.
Please
See?
do.
I have been journaling. No, I don't got it, but I tried.
Well, that's
Well,
okay
I-
because
see,
I believe
journal
we're.
There's the deal. I'm sold. Tennessee, like we should try Tennessee.
I take it back. Let's go to Tennessee.
We'll give that one a whirl.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
We
Can I
gotta
go?
go.
with you? Am I invited now because I'm on the show? Or
Well, there's planning involved. We'll hold off on any kind of invites until we have a better idea on it, Colby. But know that you're in the running at least.
He's using my phone.
don't call you, you'll call me type situation?
I'll have my people reach out to your people's people, and people will figure it out. Sound good?
Sounds about right.
That's always super legitimate.
No. We'll talk. We'll see what happens. First things first, though, for a karma trip is definitely a delivery to Vegas, though. That's the one that we've already kind of started. We've just got to get new dates on. So we'll have to see where it falls in line with that one there, Hakester.
Oh, okay. Now just keep me posted.
Absolutely.
You know.
So this has been a fun transmission, though, guys. We've kind of come to the end of it, though, and I think that's a good place to let it be, knowing that Tennessee is a viable option for stud muffins like us. So us and the Bat Slayer, that's the other one that'll go down there.
Yeah, seriously. Bat Slayer and the Stud Muffins. There's this next band.
Tennessee's known for
We've
bats.
got Jake on the saxophone, Colby on I think Colby plays a lot of different instruments, and then Rex playing those 3 piano keys he knows.
With chopsticks.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. So, but it's been a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for joining me on old Karmic Transmission number 32 tonight. Colby and Alyssa, always fun to have you guys jump in there at the end. And dude, I'm glad that we got to talk Tennessee for a minute. So that's very cool.
Yeah. Shout out to Tennessee.
That's
You guys
right.
you guys needed all the props you could get from our tiny little podcast.
So, but I love you guys. Thanks again for joining us. Everybody that joined in from home. Again, we're with Karma Incarnate. Find us at karmaincarnate.com on social media, Karma Incarnate, or at the Karmic Feed on Twitter. We're on Facebook, YouTube, all that fun stuff. But as always, if you ever want to know what we're doing, check us out on the website. And like Ayame said, if you're down to really take a challenge and step up and take some action, we're a great place to get started. So until next time, guys, I love you, and we'll see you on the next one. Ayame?
You will indeed have a lovely, lovely evening. Hopefully I will be recovered by next time.
I expect you to be.
If I'm not, I think they think we'll have some bigger problems. So
If not, I'm sending you back to that doctor with words. So.
You got some explaining to do.
All right. See you guys.
see you
All right.
later.
Thank you. Good night.
Night.